Hi guys, welcome back to Saturday Morning Cartooning, the show where we learn about cartoon characters from the past, the people that created them, and then we learn to draw them together. Today we're learning about one of my favorite characters from childhood, Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget was an afternoon cartoon show that originally aired from 1983 to 1986. The show revolves around the adventures of a clumsy, dim-witted detective named Inspector Gadget, a cyborg human with various bionic gadgets built into his body, who is sent on missions by the Chief to thwart his nemesis Dr. Claw, the leader of the evil organization known as MAD, unknowingly being assisted by his genius niece Penny. This science fiction spy spoof was developed by Deke Entertainment. His character design was created by French cartoonist Bruno Bianchi, and was inspired by the popular comedic actor Peter Sellers, most famous for his role as Inspector Clouseau in the Pink Panther movies, another comedy spy spoof. Like Clouseau, Inspector Gadget is seen wearing a Macintosh raincoat and a trilby hat. His first design even had a mustache like Peter Sellers' mustache in the Pink Panther, but it was cut from the final design after the first episode because MGM Studios, the movie studio who made the Pink Panther movies, felt his design was too close to the appearance of Inspector Clouseau. The Macintosh coat and the trilby hat stayed, as this was where he stored his gadgets. Gadget was voiced by character actor Don Adams, famous himself for playing clumsy spy Maxwell Smart in the 1960s spoof comedy series Get Smart. Like James Bond, Get Smart was definitely an influence on this show, especially through the use of gadgets. The difference is that Inspector Gadget is practically made of gadgets that are activated when he says his catchphrase, "Go, go, Gadget." Okay, today we're drawing Inspector Gadget. Let's take a look at the reference drawing. As you can see, he's a pretty detailed character. There's a lot of angles, there's a lot of understructure, meaning you can see that he has some sort of skeletal system. Because of the detail in this character, there's lots of small little details. We're going to use an ultra fine point marker today, has a point like that, so it'll be able to get into the little details, but to begin with we're going to start with just our regular foundational shapes sketched out lightly in pencil. So make sure you got your paper handy, you got your pencil handy, you got your eraser handy. We are going to need a few colors. I'm going to use both markers and colored pencils today. Gray, yellow, red, blue, skin tone, and I have a couple of grayish blue and a gray pencil for later on. But let's talk about our basic shapes here. All right, so we're going to start with, he's got this oval shaped head. So we're right around here, we're going to draw this oval. Make sure that you have enough room up here for his gadgets that are going to be coming out of his hat, and also enough room down here for the length of the body. Right, he's got, you don't see much of a neck on Gadget because his hand's covering up most of it. So he's going to have this triangle shaped torso. And I'm going to put here at a little articulation point. Remember, whenever we draw an articulation point, we typically make a little circle. That's where the body bends naturally. That is where we're going to have his hips. This is his hips, and then this is going to be the hem of his Macintosh jacket. All right, and then he's going to have a leg here and a leg here. One foot going out this way. And then the other foot is going to be going out this way. It actually goes off the edge of my paper a little bit, and that's okay. Alright. Let's sketch on where his hat's going to be, which is going to be right here. So it's sort of like a curved rectangle. The hat band and the top of the hat. Now, the top of his hat is going to have a lid that's flipping open. That's what this is right here, so that all these gadget arms can come out. So we're just going to put a little oval right there, and that's where going to be all of these little gadget arms are going to come out. And let's just sketch them in. We're going to have a line going out this way, then down, and then out. And that's going to be the hand making a point. So we're just going to draw a little circle right there and a finger going up, a thumb going down, and then the other fingers tucking underneath that thumb. 1, 2, 3. And then a palm. And then this is just a gloved hand, so that's going to be the edge of the glove right there. I'm putting a little circle where the arms bend, and then I am thickening out those lines. Alright, the next one is going to go up this way. Then it's going to turn and go out this way. It's going to go a little bit longer. And then down. So it's got 2 bends in it. And then this is going to be the gloved hand that is holding a magnifying glass. It's 1 finger, 2 finger, 3 finger, 4 finger. This is the handle of the magnifying glass, and we're seeing the magnifying glass from the side, so it's only going to look like this, sort of like a vase shape, and then this is going to be the actual glass. Okay. This thumb just gets tucked underneath over there. Now the last arm is going to be right here. It's going to go out this way. Then it's going to bend, and it's going to go down, and then it's going to bend again, and it's going to go down this way towards his face. He's going to be covering up his face as if he's thinking. See how it goes down, and then it covers up his face here. So we're just going to sketch on the thumb here, a finger going across, then 2 fingers are going to be in, and then the last finger is going to be out. Don't worry about it looking precise right now. We can fix this up later on. Alright. I'm also going to put 2 articulation points for his shoulders, because one is going to go down this way, and then it's going to turn, so we could even put an articulation point for the elbow and have it go behind his back. We do not have to draw his actual hands today because he is putting his arms behind his back. Okay, I think all those basic shapes are in there. We went a little detailed in this because there was a lot of bends in there, and I really wanted to take care of that first. But let's do his face. He has got a very long nose. I just drew this line right here as just a guide, and actually the nose is not too far off from that. We're just going to draw a line going down, and then as soon as it hits the hand, it starts to turn back up. So there's his nose. All right. His eyes are, half of them are under the hat. So all we need to do is a half circle here and a half circle here. Part of it is also going to be tucked behind the nose. 2 little pupils. He's staring off into space, thinking. And then we can draw his hair. Before we draw that, we're going to put in a sideburn right there, and then he has an ear. So the rest of his hair is going to go behind his ear. and it's going to come out the side underneath the hat and then out this way. It's going to be flaring out this way. I'm going to draw this side of his face, and then notice how I did it all in one piece, the hair, but now I'm going to go in and do a little zigzag line, and that will give us the suggestion of texture to the hair. Alright, we're going to just line up the other ear right over here. It's going to be slightly smaller because this is a 3/4 side view. Slightly smaller, not that much smaller. And then the other hair out this way. In my drawing, it gets cut off by part of the arm going down. That might not be with yours, and that's okay. Okay. Just darkening in those lines for the glove, and we can begin the jacket. Now his jacket's going to go around, around the neck, the back of the neck, and it's going to come out this way. So this is going to be the lapel of his jacket. Here's the other lapel. A lapel is a collar on a jacket. So here's the two lapels, and it's going to have the suggestion of his necktie right there. What I'm drawing here is on a typical Macintosh coat or a trench coat. They have these little flaps on the shoulders, and these are called epaulets. So it's just one flap here, one flap there, and usually they have a little button right there and right there. Okay. Now there's going to be this panel that's coming down from the epaulette, and it's almost like a little bat wing going down. It's just typical of a raincoat or a trench coat. And then we can do those arms. Be drawing in a couple little folds of the fabric here where the arm bends. And I'm going to stop right before I reach the side of the jacket, because don't forget his arms are going to be behind his body, so we don't have to really draw those in. Alright, so this lapel is going to go over, make a little notch, and then it's going to go down. And we're just going to follow that line down. I'm going to draw this line down, and I'm going to draw this little sail shape right here, as if it's blowing in the wind. It's going to go down and around, and then we're going to move that line down a little bit, down the length of the leg, so it gives you the suggestion of the underside of the jacket. All right, I'm also going to put a little line right here, because that's where the belt is eventually going to go. But let's get this part of the jacket done first. Same thing with this. We're going to have a little section of it underneath, so you can see that 3D there a little bit. All right, he has a belt buckle. I'll show you. The belt buckle is actually the letter G for Gadget. So we're going to try our best at that. If you know how to do bubble letters. So here's the G going around, and it's going to come back up, and we're going to put this the tail of the G in there. And the belt is going to go around. So we're just going to draw this rectangle on either side of the G, and then another small one right there, and a small one right there. And the buttons are next. He has what's called a double-breasted coat, meaning it has 2 rows of buttons. So we're going to do a button there and a button there, a button there and a button there, and then one more set down here, here, and here. And he also has little flaps, almost like the epaulets up here. He's going to have them on his wrists too. Here. Just a suggestion of them right there. Okay. Told you this is going to be a little bit more detailed. He's got thin pants on and a little bit of a cuff. It kind of flares out the tiny little bit at the ankle. And he has just real basic shoes. A sole. A heel. A toe, and then 2 little marks on that side. And don't forget, this foot is going to be facing the viewer, so we're going to see it from the front. So the piece there, and a piece there, and that's all you really need. All right, this is going to take a lot of inking. So get your ultra fine point if you have one. If you don't have an ultra fine point, that's fine. And you want to use your fine point marker, that's fine too. If you don't want to use your fine point, you could even use a ballpoint pen. The only thing about that is you won't be able to color over it without it smudging, so you got to be a little careful when it comes to coloring. All right, let's get started. The brim of the hat. All right, I'm not doing the lid yet because I want to get this part in. That is the first of the little gadget arms. And notice when I ink in this part of the arm, where we see where it connects to the articulation point, I'm inking it with a little curve right there. I'll do the same thing with this. Okay, since I already have this arm in, I'm going to go ahead and put the hat flap in there, and I'm going to give it just that suggestion of thickness. Oh, I also forgot to draw it, but we can extend the handle of the magnifying glass out this way. Okay, let's get this one in. I'm just inking in the glove that's going over his mouth. Okay, now this part of the hat. His nose and his eyes. here, that side of the face, that side of the face, and then go ahead and ink in the hair coming out from underneath the hat, the ear on this side, and the hair coming out over there. Okay. That's one lapel. Two lapels. The necktie. The epaulets. Those front panels that kind of look like bat wings. And then the arms. Actually, before I do the arms, I'm going to do this side of the torso and this side of the torso going into the belt. I'm doing that because the arms are going to be behind that line and I want to get a nice clean finish. Get that letter G belt buckle in there. A bit of the belt on either side. You know, I drew that rectangle right there and then the two smaller rectangles on either side, and that gives you the illusion of belt loops here and here. So those last two buttons. The jacket coming down, blowing in the breeze, making that little sailboat shape there. And I'm going to put in the legs here and here because I want to make sure that these lines work together. They're all, now this line looks like it's all one piece. I'm going to put in just the lace marks there. And then the shoe, the sole, the heel line, and the toe line. That's a little bit easier on this one because we're only seeing it from the top and from the front. So we only see the lace marks and the toe line. That was a lot of detail. And then the shoes, and you're all done. All right? I think at this point we are good to erase, so get your eraser ready and start erasing your original pencil lines. Gently. Alright, see if there's anything that needs to be inked. I think we're good. And let's color. The only skin tone we're going to see is just on his face, so go ahead and put that in first. And might as well get the yellow of this glove. This is the only glove that's going to be yellow. Every other glove is going to be white. Alright, let's... The arms of the gadgets. Let's just very lightly use a blue color. And you can even be sketchy with it. It kind of gives the illusion that it's shiny, that it's metal. Then where each of the little gadget arms bends, those are going to be red. gray for his hat and his coat. If you want, you can leave the buttons white. Also leave the belt and the belt buckle white for now, and you can get those belt loops in the gray. I'm just switching up my gray because of course it's dying. Just covering up anything that I missed. I should stress to you guys, you don't have to color these things, these drawings that we do. Actually, a lot of cartoonists work in black and white, and they don't use a lot of color. Okay. Alright, we're going to give him blue pants. We're going to use dark gray for his shoes. I have a dark gray pencil. You can even use the dark gray on the hat band, the buttons, the belt, and the buckle. Blue, sort of like a lighter blue for the necktie, and the magnifying glass. And the last thing is his black hair. And you can just use your black permanent marker. And there he is, Inspector Gadget.